Hello and welcome to F1 Livery Histories, the channel where we take a look back at the different paint jobs, racing trims and sponsor decals adopted by respective Formula 1 teams throughout the eras. Today we'll be tracing the evolution of a team which made the very most of the limited finances at its disposal. A team beloved and respected by fans of the sport for tirelessly battling against 9 possible odds and specialising in the development of young and upcoming drivers. Minardi. The team was founded by Giancarlo Minardi in 1979, competing initially as a Formula 2 constructor, located in the northern Italian city of Faenza. Even during their earliest years, the team became best known for the opportunities it presented to upcoming Italian drivers, with the likes of Pierluigi Martini, Alessandro Nannini and Michele Alboreto driving for the team during their formative years. In 1984, Minardi decided to enter his team into the senior category of open-wheel racing, on the back of a deal made with Italian engine company Motori Moderni, which at the time was developing a 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. So begins our retrospective on the dogged yet determined Minardi Formula 1 team. Minardi's first car entered into Formula 1 was the Giacomo Caliri designed M185. The car was driven by Pierluigi Martini as a single car entry for season 1985. For the first 2 races of the season, the car was fitted with a Cosworth DFY engine, before reverting to the Motori Moderni turbo engine upon completion of its development. Along with its Italian-made engine, the M185 made use of Agip fuels and Pirelli rubber. The car came painted in black, and featured segments of yellow that appeared in an angular fashion. These 2 colours would become closely associated with Minardi, and regarded as their traditional colour scheme. The car also carried a swathe of Italian sponsors, most notable of which being footwear brand Simod, which appeared prominently on the car's side pods and front wings. Simod were joined by fellow Italian companies Gilmar, Resta and Risoldo, along with Canadian ceramics company Ceramic Montreal, which appeared on the rear wing. In 1986, the team expanded to a 2-car outfit, as they ran with the revised M185B and an all-Italian driver lineup of Alessandro Nannini and Andrea De Cesaris. AC Monoceram had now taken up residency on the car's rear wing. At the 1986 Hungarian Grand Prix, the team introduced the M186 to the grid. In 1987, the team produced the Motori Moderni-powered M187, which ran with Goodyear tyres and an altered yellow and black livery that featured a predominant yellow hoop which surrounded the monocoque. The team had also acquired a set of fresh sponsors, such as clothing brand Loy, which appeared on the engine case and monocoque, along with smaller sponsors Reporter, Biopoint, NK, Natuzzi and Succi. The following season, Minardi would revert to naturally aspirated Cosworth engines for the M188, which in the hands of Pierluigi Martini earned the team its first championship point at the Detroit Grand Prix. The yellow monocoque hoop had been discarded, in favour of a thin yellow strip, which ran horizontally along the base of the sides of the car. Once again, a list of new sponsors were now seen on the car, such as Cimarron, Atlantic, Cavallo and Malaysia. In 1989, the team introduced a diagonally striped livery, which saw the car divided into individual black, yellow and white sections. The livery itself was almost overwhelmed by its very own sponsors, as companies such as Camel, SCM Group, Skyini and HS Penta joined the increasingly large catalogue of Minardi team sponsors. At the 1989 Mexican Grand Prix, the team introduced their most competitive chassis yet, the M189, which secured the team 6 points throughout the season. 1989 also saw the team making the switch back to Pirelli tyres. The car was updated to the M189B for the first 2 races of 1990, before the team debuted the M190 chassis at the San Marino Grand Prix. The team retained their coloured diagonal panels heading into the season, whilst Pioneer, Kidland Shoes and Kanachi were amongst the newly signed sponsors seen on the car. In 1991, the team once again switched back to Goodyear tyres for the now Ferrari V12 powered M191, another successful Minardi chassis, which registered 6 points during the season thanks to longtime driver Pierluigi Martini. These points were enough to propel Minardi into 7th place in the Constructors' Championship, an achievement which would prove to be the team's highest ever end-of-season position. The M191 came dressed primarily in black, with singular white and yellow diagonal panels appearing on the rear of the bodywork. 1991 also saw Sabium joining Minardi's loyal sponsor base. In 1992, Minardi ran with Lamborghini power for the updated M191B, which featured an unaltered team livery. The team first raced with their new M192 chassis at the San Marino Grand Prix. However, the association with Lamborghini proved to be unsuccessful, and the team reverted back to customer Ford engines for 1993. For the new season, the team raced with the M193, designed by Aldo Costa and Gustav Brunner, which netted the team 7 points throughout the year, the most points attained by Minardi in a singular season. For 1993, the team ran with a chiefly white livery, whilst Minardi's yellow and black was seen in a much smaller capacity, present only as thin stripes which lined the car horizontally. The team also employed touches of light green and orange to the wings of their cars to distinguish their drivers, which created a unique colour palette for each vehicle. Beta Tools, Mercatone Uno and Kokif all signed on with the team in 1993, appearing on the car's engine casing, whilst Road Rig was seen on the sides of the rear wing. Following the 1993 season, the cash-strapped Minardi team would merge forces with fellow Italian outfit Scuderia Italia. For the 1994 season, the team officially raced as Minardi Scuderia Italia and adopted a vastly different team livery, which made no use of Minardi's traditional yellow or black. Beta Tools remained with the team, but had now brought their company colour of orange along with them, as the Italian tool manufacturer was now seen in the car's airbox, rear wing, the sides of the nose cone, as well as the side pods from above. Giuseppe Lucchini, who now held majority ownership of the team, promoted his eponymous steel company on the car's side pods, which were coloured in various shades of blue throughout the season. 1994 was a season in which the restructured team's sponsorship fluctuated constantly, with companies such as Bossini, Bicome, RBM, Valverde, Lusvina, Central Park and Penthouse all seen on the car at different stages of the season. The team began the season racing with the reconditioned M193B chassis, before producing the M194, which debuted at the Monaco Grand Prix. In spite of a lack of consistent sponsorship and limited funding, the team still managed to punch above its weight and score a respectable tally of points in season 1994. However, the union between Giancarlo Minardi and Giuseppe Lucchini would prove to be short-lived, as in 1995 Lucchini chose to exit the venture in order to concentrate BMS Scuderia Italia on other racing programs. Minardi's fortunes continued to vacillate during season 1995. The team had reached an agreement with Miu and Honda to use their engines for 1995. However, these plans fell through shortly before the commencement of the season, as Miu and Honda revoked their deal with Minardi in favour of Ligier. The team took legal action against the Ligier team, which was at this time headed by Tom Wilkinshaw and Flavio Briatore. The issue was finally settled out of court when Briatore paid Minardi a sum of $1 million to compensate for the loss of Miu and Honda. As a result, the team were forced to outfit the M195 chassis with customer Ford power. 1995 also saw a change of colours for Minardi, as the team ran with a black and white livery, which featured touches of fluorescent green. In the absence of Lucchini, Italian furniture company Doimo assumed the position on the car's side pods. Valverde now occupied the rear wing on a semi-regular basis, and were also seen on the car's barge boards. The team also secured minor sponsorship from Marlboro Cigarettes, which featured on the engine case and nose, and insurance company Imperio, which was seen on the monocoque. For 1996, the team raced with the revised M195B and a slightly altered version of their black, white and fluorescent green livery, which made use of much more subdued lines surrounding the car's monocoque. The team attracted a league of smaller sponsors for the 1996 season, which included the likes of Brum's Kidswear, Cimatron, Clearly Canadian, Central Park, Magnum, C-Trans, Viglia, and Catamaran Watches, which operated with Minardi on a race-by-race basis. Following a particularly difficult period for the team, Minardi would emerge in season 1997 with backing from a new financial partner. In 1997 heralded the beginning of significant investment into the team from Italian wheels manufacturer Fondmetal. The company's owner, Gabriele Rumi, would increase his holdings in the Minardi team over the course of the next few seasons. The team produced the M197, which was powered by Hart V8 engines, and ran with Bridgestone rubber and Petroscience fuels. Fondmetal featured prominently on the car's rear wing, as the team reintroduced their classic colour scheme to their livery, which came in the form of swooping horizontal panels. The car's engine case was coloured in the light and dark blue of cigarette brand Mild 7, which had bargained a race seat for its preferred driver, Ukyo Katayama. Italian skating brand Rossi's occupied a position on the car's side pods in red text, whilst PDP, Brembo, Hewlett-Packard and Minardi were also first seen on the car. In 1998 the team opted with another change of colours, adopting a livery that met deep blue with metallic silver for the Ford-powered M198, the first Minardi car designed by Gabriele Tredozzi. For the first time in their history, Minardi now had a portfolio of international sponsors, with Japanese entertainment conglomerate Avex Group seen on the engine cover and side pods, multinational financial lenders Visa seen on the monocoque, French footwear brand Kickers, which added a dash of red to the monocoque, Telecom Argentina, and Japanese consumables brand Musashi all welcomed aboard in 1998. These new additions were joined by Italian companies such as Milpass and Ventura. 1998 also saw Minardi running with Elf fuels. In 1999 the team raced with the Gustav Brunner designed MO1, which featured an altered blue and silver livery and sponsorship for the first time from Spanish communications company Telefonica, which occupied the car's engine case and as the season progressed, occupied the car's rear wing. Fondmetal now appeared on the car's side pods. Smaller sponsors such as Italian office furniture brand Frieza and Argentinian beer Quilmes also joined the plucky Minardi outfit during the season. For the 2000 season, Telefonica became the titular sponsor for the Minardi team, which saw the MO2 adopt the pale yellow of Telefonica. Telefonica's secondary colours of dark blue and white were utilised as a checkered flag motif on the nose cone and side pods, as well as forming a modern-looking geometric design which ran along the side of the car. The team's Ford engines were rebadged as Fondmetal power units, as Fondmetal also appeared on the car's front suspension in fluorescent orange text. Korean electronics brand LG, former sponsors Loy, as well as Pan American Television Network, PSN, also appeared on the car. 2000 though would prove to be the end of an era for Minardi, as Gabriele Rumi withdrew his investment from the team. Telefonica would also depart from the team following the conclusion of the season, leaving the team's founder Giancarlo Minardi without a budget for his team. Minardi would eventually sell his team to Australian airline magnate Paul Stoddart in early 2001. The first car produced by the new Stoddart-run Minardi team was the Michelin-shod PSO1, named after its team owner, which ran with Ford power rebadged as European, in deference to Stoddart's European Aviation airline. European Aviation also became the team's title sponsor, featuring heavily on the new car, which was painted in black and featured white offsets along the front of the vehicle. Under new ownership, the team's sponsor package changed once again, with names such as Leaseplan, the Fouth Estate, and Malaysian betting company Magnum appearing on the car. In 2002, the team struck up a deal with the Malaysian Tourism Bureau, which tendered space on the side pods of the PSO2, which made use of Asiatech power units. The car's black livery remained, though the touches of white previously seen on the car were discarded in favour of additions of red. 2002 was also the season Minardi reverted back to Elf lubricants. In 2003, the team switched to Cosworth engines and Bridgestone rubber for the PSO3, a car which facilitated a greater amount of white in its livery. Dutch computer company Trust were now seen on the car's side pods, along with Steyr, Muehlmans Group, Gazprom, Palmer Sport, Willux and Superfund, which added flares of dark green to the airbox and barge boards. Superfund would go on to assume a larger presence on the PSO4B, which saw the car's engine case devoted to the deep green of the multinational investment company. The livery underwent a rapid interchange of sponsors throughout the season, with Willux, Ozjet, Muehlmans Group and Mundermakers all taking up residencies on various positions of the car during the year. Online casino Golden Palace was also seen on the front of the side pods in bright pink writing. Longtime Minardi sporting director John Walton was to pass away during the 2004 season, prompting the team to run with a sponsorless livery for the British Grand Prix, dedicated to Walton. In 2005, the team produced their final Grand Prix contender in the PSO5, which once again took on the primarily black and white livery synonymous with European Minardi. The team had attracted another band of sponsors, with JVC, Lost Boys and CO Squared being the most notable of the team's latest additions. Following the 2005 season, Paul Stoddart reached a decision to sell the Minardi team to energy drink company Red Bull, which rechristened the team as Scuderia Toro Rosso for the 2006 season, operating out of Minardi's original facilities at Faenza. With this sale, the book was finally closed on the little Italian team which over the course of numerous financially turbulent seasons had developed a cult following among long-time Formula One observers. A team which raced as hard as any other on the grid had now finally come to a halt,